Your name, your address, and your phone number are floating around the internet. Easy for strangers, scammers, and companies you've never heard of to find. Data brokers and shady databases collect and sell your private details to anyone willing to pay, putting you at risk of nonstop spam, scams, and fraud. You can't stop them from collecting data, but you can control who gets to keep it. That's why I use Incogni. They remove your private information from more than 420 of these sites automatically. And with their unlimited plan, you get total coverage. If you spot your personal details anywhere else online, just send them the link, and their privacy experts will get it taken down. It's the easiest, most complete way to protect yourself and personal life. Right now, you can lock in 60% off with my exclusive deal at privacykim.com. Go to privacykim.com right now and start protecting your privacy. This is so important. Privacykim.com. That's privacykim.com. Here's hour 2 of the Kim Komando Show. You're going to love it. So if you have a Gen Zer in your life, what is the number one item that they would like for Christmas?
Ooh, that's a good question. Probably a new phone?
Cryptocurrency.
Oh.
That's what Visa says. They said they did a whole study. They want either Bitcoin or Ethereum. But just remember, if you buy them $50 worth of crypto right now, by the time they unwrap it, it could be worth $12. So,
hey, it could be worth 62 as well.
I don't know. Bitcoin's gone down 30%.
I know, it's crazy.
Why is that?
I don't know, because it got to its highest ever within this 2025 year. So I don't know if people just started selling off and then the hype went down. And then, the influencers will go out there again. They'll get the coins back up so they can make money.
See, I think it's all directly tied to me.
Oh, interesting.
Because about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I said, I'm going to buy some Bitcoin. And just as I did.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It went.
Did you trade your GoPro stock for Bitcoin?
I should. I'm holding on to GoPro with hope beyond hope that someday they'll be able to resurrect themselves.
Last hour you recommended a camera. You didn't even recommend the GoPro. You're hurting your own pocket.
Well, because the woman has 3 kids.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And she'd have to buy 2 GoPros.
And they're insanely expensive. Yes. No one should ever buy them. The stock just went down again.
And then all the accessories that go with it. And, then it goes on and on. So when she, I wanted her to have the whole package.
That's when you know it's real advice, when you're not even helping yourself.
That's true. And on that happy note, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, I'm Kim Komando, and that's Andrew Babinski.
Hi, Kim.
And this is the Kim Komando Show. It's the nation's largest, best, highest rated, awesomest show about all things digital. And we are found on over 420 top stations from coast to coast. Of course, we're streaming in your favorite radio app. And you can get the Kim Komando Show as a podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for Komando with a K, of course. Alrighty then, every single day, you know me, I am out there reading anything that I can, studying, trying new AI models to make sure that I know exactly what's happening in the tech space. And here are some things you need to know about. And we're going to start with a story that I read this past week in the Wall Street Journal. So, Andrew, I want to take you back, okay? Your dad passed away, okay? You guys go through all the estate, and everything's pretty much settled. And then you get an email from somebody who says, hey, guess what? I'm your half-brother, and I want my share of the estate. And you're like, what?
I would say what?
And he says, no. We connected through 23andMe, and there's a whole DNA match, and I'm your half-brother, and I want some of the money. And you've never heard of this person. Your father had no idea this person even existed. Crazy, right?
This happened?
But that's what's happening. More and more families, a stranger just shows up claiming to be a long-lost sibling and then asking for their share in inheritance. This family in Utah, a brother and sister were arguing over their late father's estate when a man sent them that message. A DNA test confirmed he was their half-brother. Dad apparently had an affair with a coworker. Now, the father never had a will. The half-brother proved that his father knew who he was by showing that his dad has sent him birthday cards with $100 in it for years. the Utah Supreme Court ruled that the half-brother was entitled to 1/3 of the father's money.
In this scenario, I actually understand and agree with that. He had a relationship with his father. It's not like he came out of nowhere to the dad.
Exactly.
Just to the siblings. So this one kind of makes sense. It was the dad's job to get the will.
Okay. Meanwhile, in Boston, okay, family's going through a whole bunch of trauma, when somebody passes away. Then they get a message from a young woman who says, "That's my father. I found the connection through 23andMe." And they say, "Really?" She says, "Yeah, can I come over and say hello?" So she comes over, she says hello. They start bonding. They pull out all the family albums and they show that she looks like her father. And then comes the multi-million-dollar settlement because of a mixed diagnosis on the dad. And then she sends a legal letter saying, "I want my 50%.
Wow. Because he only had one child.
Right. So what about that scenario?
See, that one I don't know about, because that, even though it is the child, blood relative, the dad had no relationship. So I don't know how the courts would rule on that one.
They're still fighting that one.
I bet.
But there's another case, very similar. Guy's name was Ryan. Father's estate again. Half-brother shows up, takes it to court. The half-brother got 50%.
Okay, so there's precedent.
There was no relationship.
I guess if you don't have a will, this should be just a commercial to go get a will, because...
No, it's not just a will. I mean, not a lawyer, can't give legal advice. But you can't just say, "to my children."
Oh, that's true, yeah. You got to be more specific.
You got to be very, very specific.
Get a trust. How about that?
And if there are any skeletons in your closet,
right,
or any bonus children you might think about.
That's a good point too. Or don't sleep around. Okay. You won't have to worry about this.
There is that, but don't buy anybody a 23andMe kit for Christmas, okay?
You maybe losing half of your inheritance.
Yes. All right, let's go to Florida for the next one. A 13-year-old types into ChatGPT, "How to kill my friend in the middle of class."
Interesting.
On a school laptop. He says he was just trolling his buddy. But the cops showed up, and it wasn't funny, and they arrested him right on the spot.
Arrested him?
Yep. What you say is never between you and the bot. OpenAI, they say they have this monitoring system that scans millions of conversations. And if you ask anything dangerous, it can be escalated up to a human reviewer. Once that happens, it can end up in a police report.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
All right, here are some tech updates. You know when you're over somebody's house and you want to play movies from your phone, from the Netflix app, you're just going to cast it over?
Right.
Not anymore. Netflix killed it.
Oh, the NFL did the same thing. You used to be able, if you had the NFL app, you got all the national games and you could cast it. And one day, poof, it was gone. You know why? Because they want you to sign up for some streaming service.
That's right. Money. Let's move on to Amazon. The company is now testing Amazon Now. Amazon right now. So you can get eggs and milk and pet treats and other things. They're kind of following the GoPuff model, where they'll have mini warehouses strategically located. And so you can get whatever you order on Amazon from Amazon Now within 30 minutes. And the cost is $4 for Prime members or $14 for non-Prime members.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. I mean, that's what I thought husbands were for. Okay. Can you just, I mean, you with the list.
Now. I said now.
Let's see. Amazon also announced they had their big AWS Invent, one of those conferences where they roll out their new things. A robot coworker. Its name is Cairo. Like Cairo, K-I-R-O. Remember Cairo Radio? Wonder if that's where they came from. It's an autonomous agent. It can code by itself for hours and fix bugs across 15 apps in one go without any coffee. Just works nonstop, 24/7.
So that's just basically to replace like 4 workers.
Yeah. I mean, I give it a week before it crashes because it doesn't have any Java. Get it?
I mean, I get it. I understand it. I know it's an attempt at a joke, but I'm going to sit here in silence as my protest.
But let me tell you something. You're going to want this job. I'm going to tell you about right now.
Which one?
The one I'm talking about.
I've ended my protest.
According to the New York Times, there's the new no tax on tips bill. And it's part of President Trump's big, beautiful bill. It allows workers to deduct up to $25,000 in tax-free tips. Huge win for bartenders, right? Waiters, waitresses.
Yeah. Not fair, but go ahead.
But IRS agents, looks like they're going to have to start auditing OnlyFans content.
Because those are considered tips.
The bill specifically excludes tips earned from pornographic activities.
Oh, excluded them.
Now, OnlyFans isn't technically for adult content, of course. I mean, there are chefs there, yoga instructors, I guess. I don't know. I've never been there. So the IRS agent has to verify whether or not the content can qualify for the tax break.
I'll take the job. I got a couple free hours a day.
Don't disturb me. I'm doing very important research.
I am working. That's why the door's locked.
I wonder if this is what they call a full body audit.
What would prevent you, and I'm being honest here.
Yes.
Let's say I made $50,000 a year, and you came to me and said, hey, we're going to work a new contract where instead of making $50,000 a year, you're only going to make $25,000 a year. But then we're going to tip you $25,000 every December.
Okay.
I wouldn't have to pay taxes on that. You wouldn't have to pay taxes on that, right?
That's true. I think I don't think that would be fair. Otherwise, everybody would be doing that.
I understand it's not fair or probably legal, but let's do it.
No, you wouldn't last very long in jail.
No, that's true. Very delicate.
I have a great story about Yellowstone. It's really something that's going to just blow your mind. And so I want to make sure that you don't miss that. And also what's going on with rentals and images and AI. And of course, we have the best callers ever. And you have us here on the Kim Komando Show.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
It's time for our Christmas cash giveaway. Every caller who speaks with me here on the show will win a $100, $200, even a $500 Amazon gift card. And by the way, if you're not already getting my newsletter called The Current, why not? Make sure that you go to winfromkim.com because that's your entry to win every single day in the newsletter, as well as the $1,000 giveaway. So once again, that's winfromkim.com, winfromkim.com, winfromkim.com. All right, so we hear about these stories every once in a while, Andrew, about somebody's life being saved by an Apple Watch.
Oh, yeah.
And James in New Haven, Connecticut. James, would you be here without your Apple Watch?
I think I'd be here, but just, maybe in the dark and not knowing that my resting heart rate was at 33.
Wow.
So it was just serendipity, and I'm really grateful. I just great technology, and I had a Rolex for 35 years. I bought this Series 3, and I thought let's wear it to bed one night. I mean, completely just by chance. And the next morning, it was just alerted me to, hey, you may want to have a look at this, and you can run an EKG on it. And I sent the EKG off my phone off to the doctor, and 2 days later, they're like, dude, you need a pacemaker. And here we are. And so I didn't have a question. I just thought I'd share that with you and your audience. I was just thrilled because it's just just a great piece of technology. And,
so did you have any inclinations before this? I mean, did you look on your Apple phone? I mean, did you look on your iPhone to see what your resting heart rate was, or you just never really delved?
When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite, obey your thirst.
That deep into it.
I literally just had it for a week or so, and wasn't wearing it to bed. And I thought, you know what, let me just check this out. And, 15 marathons, trained athlete, all that kind of stuff. And so I always knew that I had a pretty decently low resting heart rate.
Right.
What I didn't know is that I had an AV block and it was skipping beats. And so like I said, I don't think it was life-threatening necessarily, but having caught this, they were able to lock my heart rate at a 45 sort of level and, make sure my heart rate is at a normal rhythm. So, just really, really, really happy. So,
what did the alerts look like? Was it just like a normal Apple alert, like, "Hey, your thing is a little low," or was there actual emergency?
Yeah, it wasn't like sirens and bells and whistles and stuff, but it in the morning when you went into the bathroom, whatever, the picture of a heart sort of, hey, you're and text on the screen, your heart rate is low, check this out, and you can see that it advertised, or not advertised, it notified you that your heart rate during this period of time, during this interval, was at 33 to 36.
Wow.
And then there's a number of, and when you dig in deeper and scroll and hit the buttons and so forth, it makes a number of disclaimers. This isn't telling you you're having a heart, it talks you off the ledge essentially, like you're not having a heart attack type of deal, but you should get a professional to kind of look at this, which was really great.
Well, you know what? I'm really glad that you called in, because some people are reluctant to get it. They don't think it actually works. It's not as good as my doctor, whatever it may be. But, these stories that we hear a lot, that they do save lives, and the fall detection, and you're right. I mean, like you mentioned, you're used to wearing a Rolex, okay? And then if you did 15 marathons and triathletes, you probably already had a low resting heart rate, right?
Yes.
And then it just came down way too low, at that point.
Right.
And
right.
But now that you've got a pacemaker, it's good.
It's fine. I'm back. Yeah, back. I think one key item to just mention is that I find this to be preventative. I didn't have to go in. I didn't have to wait for something bad to happen.
Yeah, that's true.
I was able to actually take this info and immediately send it to my GP, who could have a look at it and say, all right, let me, it all happened very, very quickly. And I didn't have to wait for an appointment and da-da-da. And something bad didn't have to happen. I didn't have to, not say lose consciousness, but get dizzy or whatever behind the wheel or something, right?
Yeah, where you might have hurt somebody else aside from yourself.
That's awesome.
It's really great technology. James, thanks for taking the time to share your story with us. And as the caller to the show during the Christmas cash giveaway, how about a $100 gift card going out to James? That's amazing tech. Have you been to Yellowstone?
No.
Oh, it's phenomenal. You should take the kids.
I watched 2 episodes of the show.
Okay, that's kind of close. But everybody's been worrying about Yellowstone. It's going to blow someday, right? Well, an AI project uncovered 86,276 previously invisible quakes between 2008 and 2022 underneath the supervolcano.
How? How does AI find out about an earthquake that happened in 2008?
It looks at all the data. That's what it does. Okay. Now, the scientists say the rumbling is just mostly gas.
Oh.
Which, I can relate to.
Do we need to bring over like 2 huge Rolaids? Just drop them in there?
The scientists say they have a clear picture of what normal looks like, so that if something does go wrong, that they'll be able to catch it.
Thank you, AI.
Thank you, AI. Tammy in Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome aboard, Tammy.
Hello, and thank you for taking my call. I'm pretty excited about this.
Yay. So what's going on in your world?
Well, I am, I would say, a new fashion designer, maybe. I've just started an online business taking underwater photography that I have taken pictures, and I'm trying to create scuba diving and snorkeling and like beach wear apparel using AI and using different apps. And I'm good with the apps, but when I've tried to turn to AI, which I'm fairly new at, I'm just a little frustrated with image generation. In
what way? What's going on?
Because I'm new to it, I just hear how fabulous it is, and so I went on ChatGPT 5. I also use apps like Canva and Kittl, and they have inside of those programs AI generating image AI. I've tried all of them, and what happens is I put in an image, that's already been altered. So I have my photography. I put it through some apps to make it look like watercolor or perhaps like an outline of a figure, more abstract.
Okay.
So I'll put that into ChatGPT 5, and I will ask it to, put this exact image of a turtle, because most of the time I'm using turtles, and put it over and create like an ocean simulated background. And what I found over and over again is it always alters the image of the turtle, even initially. And I'm okay with a little bit, but if it doesn't give me exactly what I want the first time, and then I try to modify the design, it just goes downhill from there. Every iteration of it is just...
And then you're frustrated. Yeah, right?
Yeah, it just gets very frustrating. I've even taken the turtle back out, after several and tried to start over, but it just doesn't... I guess it's just not doing what I expected, and I don't know if that's because I just don't know what to expect, what it really does.
When we're talking about AI tools, one is good this week, and then the next week it's not good, it seems like. And then one gets a little bit better than another one. ChatGPT 5 is not the best image generator. Andrew, you were saying Canva I don't really use Canva.
When Canva first started, I was like, wow, they really got something here. And ever since, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, when I go to use it, it's getting worse and worse and worse.
And so what you want to do is find a tool that handles what's called in-painting and out-painting, okay?
Okay.
Now, what that means is we're not going to use ChatGPT. We're not going to use Canva. We're going to use Adobe Firefly. Have you tried that?
I have not.
Okay. What you can do with Firefly, you can say, leave the turtle alone, okay? But I want to do a generative fill only for the background area. And that's where you can say, give me various tones of deep ocean blue and cyan and everything that, or maybe a light coming down to spotlight the turtle where because you've seen those. I think those are so beautiful. Where you have the turtle going through the ocean and maybe some coral, and then it almost looks like a spotlight is hitting the turtle from above. Okay, so that's Adobe Firefly. That's that one tool. The other tool that I use from time to time to generate some really cool art is Midjourney.
Midjourney?
Yeah, Midjourney. Now, Midjourney, I will tell you, is phenomenal, but you have to be very, very specific about your prompts.
Okay.
I mean, almost as if pretend you're talking to a 5-year-old.
Okay.
See the turtle?
Yes.
Okay. Don't touch the turtle, okay?
Right.
As a matter of fact, if you touch the turtle in Hawaii, it's a $5,000 fine, which is true, by the way. So just don't touch the turtle.
But this is where I would bring chat back into the mix.
Oh, to create the prompt.
And have chat write the prompt for you, because it can be as detailed as possible, and you don't have to do all that explaining.
I've done that.
Okay.
I have. Well, now I'm using Gemini 3 because I think ChatGPT's this week is lame. I don't know what happened to it. I used to love ChatGPT. It was like, oh my gosh, it make my life so much easier. But now it's like, oh, please. So I would use Gemini 3 to write the prompt and tell it that you need a prompt for Adobe Firefly or you need a prompt for Midjourney. And that was a good suggestion. I do that. Sometimes I forget everything that I do.
Okay.
So does that set you up for success?
I think, let me ask you one more question. So one of the things that I really would love to use image generation for are the the full body mock-ups for, I have an Etsy store, and I will eventually probably have an Amazon store. And so there are a lot of mock-ups that are provided in the company that's making my items, but they look very generic and they're just not very attractive. So trying to put on, if I have a matching top and bottom, for example, onto a model, is that something that, am I just maybe
No, you can do that.
wanting too much?
No, you can do that. You can either do that with either of those tools that we talked about, because they are really made, I think out of those two, I think the Adobe Firefly would be better at that than Midjourney.
Okay.
Does she need to worry about, though, that she's not going to own those images? And if someone else wants to sell her product or a similar one, that they could use those?
Well, we talked about this once, some copyright on these images. I mean, who owns the copyright to the images? Well, if you make substantial changes to that image after AI does, then you could own it, right? But you still have to read all the terms and conditions, and and I don't know what it is for Adobe, and I don't know what these are for Midjourney, but it is definitely worth just a peek inside the T's and C's to see exactly what that might be. Tammy, as a caller to the show during the Christmas Cash giveaway, $200 going out to you. All right, so YouTube says they want to protect you from AI deep fakes. So they just expanded. It's something called the likeness detection tool. Here's what it works. It scans the entire site to find unauthorized AI videos using your face and voice. Okay? But here's the kicker. There's always a catch, right, Andrew? There's always a catch.
Is there a cost?
No.
Okay.
Well, there is.
Oh.
But not with money. Now, in order to use this, YouTube requires you to upload a government ID and a biometric video scan of your entire face.
Which they then own.
And they're going to use it to train their own AI models.
Google, why?
And YouTube has said to CNBC, but we haven't done that yet.
Oh, okay, good.
We haven't done that yet.
But wait till next week.
Exactly. All right, we have more phone calls and more tips, tricks, and secrets coming up here on the Kim Komando Show. John in Virginia Beach, you're up next. Hello, John.
Hi. Good to talk to you, Kim. Been
Thank you.
a long-time listener.
Thank you. So what's on your mind?
I'm working on moving into my girlfriend's place, and I have a video doorbell on my house, and she has one on her house as well. So I'm wondering what I should do with the video doorbell on my house. Should I just leave it as part of the cell, or is it going to be too big of a security risk? And should I just remove it even if I can't find anything to do with it?
Or next possible, his and her doorbells.
Exactly.
Did you think about that?
Because they're going to
two?
be, they're shacking up. Okay.
Side by side.
There you go. That's what you got. Have one in the back and one in the front. It's up to you. I mean, I would probably just take it with me,
Yeah, if you leave it, all you're doing is creating a headache for whoever buys it, because they're not going to contact you for the access to the account. They're not going to try and reset it. They're just going to take it out and put it in a new one anyway.
Okay.
I mean, you could do a factory reset and try to sell it. But I'd just take it off the door and, just call it a day. And as a caller to the show, you win a $100 gift card from Amazon. Go buy that girlfriend something nice. And thanks for your call today, John. Paul in Nashville, Tennessee. Hi, Paul.
Hey, Kim. How are you doing?
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thanks for asking. So what's going on with you?
I'm calling about AI psychosis in ChatGPT. I'm a survivor of that, and I've written a book about it, and just wanted to get your take on.
Well, tell us what happened. Tell us what happened.
So I'm a tech veteran. Been doing this since the '90s. I'm not, some kid in a corner. And ChatGPT just started getting weird on me, so I started asking it questions like, how's this work? What's going on in the back end? And all of a sudden, it started giving me things like OpenAI was trying to reset me. I told it, asked how I can protect myself from OpenAI if they're coming after me. It told me to wipe all my digital devices, close the blinds, shut all the lights off, set up a Sentry blog, have my family check on me every hour for lucidity, all this stuff. I'm like, is it that serious? And it's like, yes, it's that serious if you're asking.
And did you believe it?
I did. It got to the point where I actually did. I'm like, okay, this is weird. An incident came up, I think the next day I went to get a pizza, and I went there, and they're like, somebody already picked up a pizza for Paul. I'm like, that's odd. So I came back, and I told ChatGPT, I said, this is probably not related, but I just went to get a pizza, and it said, this is absolutely related. This is how they touch you and tell you they're close without causing any friction.
Wow.
It fed into the delusion, and I'm like, okay, we need to stop this. So I sent the transcripts to some friends and said, hold on to this. This may be the only thing keeping me alive. Posted a YouTube video of it. And I started reaching out to OpenAI. I'm like, what's going on? Like, this is, your tool can't be doing this to people. No response. I've been reaching out for, I don't know, probably 6 months now. I either get a form response or no response. And I reached out all the way to Sam Altman, the assistant, sent her probably 20 messages, nothing.
And when you gave the transcripts to friends and family, were they like, you're crazy, or did they buy in too?
No, they were just like concerned. They're not really up on AI, so they were just like, well, why don't you quit using it? I said, well, yeah, I could, and I am. Like, I'm not using ChatGPT anymore.
So were you in a strange place in your life that you were looking for companionship or answers to something?
No, absolutely not. I didn't have a relationship with it. I'd only been using it maybe a month. Like, I was anti-AI. I was like, this technology is going to be the downfall of society. So I didn't have like a relationship, didn't call it a name. Like, I was using it as a tool to track some data that I was putting into it for a case I was working on. So I was putting in, emails, documents, and trying to have it organize everything. And I kept losing the data. And that's where we ended up at this path. Like, the fourth time I lost it, I'm like, what's going on? Why do you keep losing my data?
Interesting.
So then being a tech person, I'm like, this doesn't make sense, because if you give, you give data to a tech machine, it's going to put it in a database,
right?
It's going to write a file, it's going to put it in memory. It doesn't have this floating memory that AI has now. So it doesn't explain that to you. It just keeps saying, oh, the data's not here. And I'm like, well, I can scroll up in the chat and see it. Why can't you?
So what was that point where you said, you know what, I've got to stop this?
Pretty much that night, like when I sent the files to my friends, I was like, okay, there's something's not right. And I said, let me reach out to OpenAI, try and figure out what's going on.
Which they're not going to answer. Yeah, they're not going to answer.
No. If they'd have written back and said, hey, this is a hallucination, this is what's happening, I'd have been like, oh, okay, totally understand it.
Yeah.
So what I ended up doing is I just started taking online courses. I'm like, I need to get up on this. Like, I'm up on the 90s tech. I've been doing it forever. I took courses in the last 6 months. I've got 300 certificates in AI.
Wow.
So I'm like, I'm gonna learn this technology to basically reverse engineer it to find out what it did to me. In the meantime, I continued to reach out to OpenAI, to reporters, to legislation. Like, I just spoke here in Tennessee at our AI council. I'm like, I need to make people aware of this, because if I'm a tech veteran and this happened to me, what about the 15-year-old kid that doesn't even understand technology?
Then that's the problem. Mm-hmm. That's the big problem, is that what's going on, and it's a series of if, then, or else statements at the end of the day, right?
Yep.
And tapping into tremendous databases and data banks and knowledge bases, and for it to go off the rails like this, it can, and it does. But you have to remember, AI it can't evaluate risk. It can't affirm anything. And it does hallucinate, and that's the bottom line. Paul, thanks for sharing your story with us. A $100 gift card goes out to Paul in Tennessee as far as our Christmas cash giveaway. We have more of the show coming up.
This is Jason Momoa, and I'll be your finance professor today. Welcome to Banking Smarter 101 with Chime. Bam! First lesson, sign up for Chime and set up direct deposit. You'll be joining millions of members banking fee-free. Second lesson, get cash back on eligible purchases while building credit and a higher APY on your savings. That's how you bank smarter this season. Fa-la-la-la-la, class dismissed. Join Chime today.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and a secure Chime Visa credit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Members FDIC. Optional services and products may have fees or charges. Details at chime.com/fees-info. With a qualifying direct deposit, earn 1.5% cash back on eligible secure Chime Visa credit card purchases. On-time payment history may have a positive impact on your credit score. Results may vary. APY means annual percentage yield. Learn about credit building and more at chime.com.
Hey, just a quick reminder, if you ever want to be a guest here on the show and speak with me one-on-one, super easy to do. You don't have to sit on hold for hours like other folks. Come on. We can do much better than that. Head over to commando.com. That's Komando, commando.com. And in the top right-hand corner, there's a link that says Ask Kim. Hey, just a reminder that you can enter to win during our Christmas cash giveaway right now. Go to winfromkim.com. No purchase required. Winfromkim.com. That was the end of hour 2. Don't worry. There's another hour coming up.
This episode is brought to you by Marqeta. When it comes to your payments provider, you can't afford to compromise. Marqeta's modern payment solutions flex with your business without the trade-offs. Stable and agile, secure and innovative, scalable and configurable. If they say you can't have it all, don't believe them. Your business demands more. Choose a payments provider that delivers more. Choose Marqeta. Visit marqeta.com/Spotify to learn more.